the zoo actually to calm my nerves today. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah. Back to today. So I have a tendency, especially when I'm using, to research. I research everything anyway. My dog. I research everything anyway. But I questioned, why is it that when I research my partners, I feel bad? Am I doing it with malicious intent? But it always leads me, come to the conclusion, it always leads me back to researching myself. And I do research myself. And then in order to do that, sometimes it means that I need to go over, the past, and then I have to sit down and I have to work out where I was at those occasions, and I have to link everything in. So then it's an investigation. But I've got to be able to join the dots in order to argue my case. And I don't mean in a courtroom or nothing like that. I mean for the benefit of my relationship, and that's the purpose of this as well, is I'm going through some real challenging times with my partner. It hasn't been an easy relationship, it's been a using relationship, but we both deeply love each other. Although convincing everybody else of that is going to take some time, because I think everybody in our universe thinks that we shouldn't be together except for us. But now I think we both think that as it is, we shouldn't be together. Well, he's finished with me anyway, so we're not together. He is still in contact. So, yes, inner research. So I've investigated about them, come up with nothing really, or maybe bits and bobs. But then also this helps me to understand their character. Next. My dog's humping my leg. Stop this. Stop. Where's your ball? Where's your ball? Bring me a ball. Good girl. Sorry, this is my dog. I'll pick her up and show you in a bit. She's just ball crazy. If I don't throw this, she's going to go mental. Watch my tripod. Should do this all day. Oh, it drives me mental. But she's lush. She's the most luscious dog in the world, who's come into my life, and she makes me smile. So anyway, back to the research. What have I been researching today? Oh my god, all sorts. I am really, really trying to get to the bottom of what I'm doing wrong within the relationship. Obviously, I'm, taking illicit substances and being an addict isn't helping at all. It's a using relationship, and that's bad as it is. Add to that various mental health issues and emotional triggers. I'm still trying to understand myself, and I'm trying to work on myself, and I'm trying to learn about myself. But then to have someone else in the equation, excuse me, balls. Whoops. And then to try and understand them while they're still gaining an understanding of themselves is pretty tough. So anyway, this time around what I've done is I've printed off our entire WhatsApp message history and our entire text message history, because there are things that crop up and they crop up and they crop up and they crop up and they keep coming back. And I'm definitely missing the point somewhere. Definitely. So I need to read back through everything now and try and understand where I'm going wrong. And the reason I'm doing all this is because I love him. I love him dearly. Even though he's got his issues, you know, he loves me and my issues. So, for me, you know, to love somebody that much means to try and save him, save the relationship, try and work. And I want to work together. Even though he's finished with me. But it doesn't matter, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to look at everything that's gone on in our relationship. And then I'm going to come back with some answers. So I guess it is research, investigate and report, right? But only to me. And him if he wants to know. And I've been looking at where I've been, you know, honest or dishonest. And this is one of the places where I've been dishonest and secretive. You know, because I don't say that I'm doing this and I don't say that I'm doing that. I don't give my reasons why, you know. I can just like lose sight of time and disappear down what we call the rabbit hole. And it causes confusion and it arouses suspicion when I do that. But there is good in it, you know. I've learned a lot about myself, so much about myself. And I've learned a lot about my partner as well. And in some respects, I'm so proud of him. You know, and you know, I am really, really proud of him for what he's come from to where he is now. I am so proud. And I've heard how he's got there. And I've heard his stories. And they're amazing. Amazing stories of courage and strength. And I've shared stuff too. And I've learnt stuff about me. I've learnt a lot of stuff about myself already. My self-awareness is just growing by the day. And it's not nice. It's not always nice to realise it. God, I love this dude so much. He is a dude. I know he loves me. I feel he loves me. But we are just chaos together. Chaos. Love. So much love and purity. It's like, you know, we're just surrounded by thorns, you know. Thorns to protect ourselves that neither of us can get through. Emotional thorns and physical thorns and my dog's like trying to get attention. Let's see if I can show you. She was trying to, look, she was trying to get attention there by destroying the washing basket. She's a little monkey. Give me the ball then. Come on, give it to me. She won't give it to me. All she does is puts it down and then runs away again. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah. What I want. Do you know what I really, really want? I'll be right back. What I really, really want is for my dream come true would be to go into treatment, which is happening very, very soon. I'm going away for 3 months rehab, residential rehab. I'm going to be doing a lot of work on myself, and I'm going to be getting clean at last. Clean from all the poison that I keep putting into my body. Clean from that awful, awful methamphetamine. Fucking hell, how did I get on that? How the hell did I get on that? Come here, bring it here. I'll tell you how. Come here. Come here. I'll tell you how I got on that. That was because I was using in secret. Again, secrets kill, right? Secrets cause harm. So I was using in secret for a long time, and I was buying my substances. I was buying my substances off the internet, I guess. Don't do that anymore, though. I'm not going there anymore. Anyway, the stuff that started coming through at the time, which was amphetamines, it was rubbish, to be fair. So I decided to give Crystal Meth a go. And it got me from the very, very, very first hit. Yeah, so methamphetamine, as I was saying, got me straight away from that very first hit. And thank God I'm going into rehab at last. But I tell you what, if you want to get better, don't expect them just to let you through the doors for free. You got to work for it. If you really, really want to get better for your loved ones, then you have to work for it. I've been attending, I've had psychiatric consultations, I've had social care consultations, conferences, seeing my key worker, God bless him, he is amazing. Every week, and he's patient, he's understanding, but he tells it to me straight. No bullshit, and I really, really appreciate and value that, because I know that he's not lying to me. And I trust him. He's one of very few people that I actually do trust when they speak. And then there's my therapist, who's lovely. She's so cute. She's just brilliant, She's just got kindness, pure kindness in here, pure heart, and she just is, it's nice to meet up with her. She never knows which way my life is going. I'm different from one week to the next, but, she just cares, and that's nice. The world needs more people like that, right? So anyway, yeah. Off to rehab, to work on myself, and to try and get a better understanding of myself. And what I'm doing at the moment is I'm getting lost in this obsession with this relationship I'm in. I'm in a relationship with drugs. I'm in a relationship with a man who does have a heart of gold. And I'm in a relationship with my daughter and my son, my mum and my dad. There are people like that care about me, my friends. Fundamentally, I'm 40 years old, nearly 41. I've had failed relationships, awful relationships. I've got to look back at all of those and see what part I played in those. But that's not important. What's important right now is the one I'm in. And I love him. And I do want to see us succeed. I want to see us get through these challenges. I want to see us learn to communicate with each other in an effective way. We both said that was something really important at the start of the relationship. Both of us. Yeah. The thing is that we both have two very different communication styles. So I need to learn his, I need to understand him, which is why I research. Try and gain an understanding of the other person to see how I can help. Because how nice would it be to have a man in my life, because I don't want to be lonely or alone. He's willing to do that work with me. He's willing to sit down and we both have a chance to work out and offer each other positive recognition, not constructive criticism. Criticism is a negative word, so let's go with positive recognition. Positive in the fact that even though it might be hurtful to recognise it, it can be a positive if it's ingested, digested, regurgitated, and then put right. How amazing would that be to be with somebody and to work that hard on the relationship and togetherness and to one day come through it victorious. I'd love that. I would love that. Right now we're in a situation where we can't be part of, we can't be a family unit. And if we carry on the way we are, we're never going to be part of a family unit. Never. And I'm talking like I'm still with him because in my heart I love him. Love him, love him, love him. People say that I'm putting him above other people. And I am guilty of that because it is turning into an obsession. But it's almost self-obsession as well because I really, really, really need to fix what's wrong with me. I need to discover myself. I need to discover why I make the same mistakes repeatedly, even though I've got the wisdom and the knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge, that brings me on to Psalms that I was reading this morning, because I'm also exploring faith right now. I've got too many signs to ignore it. I was given 5 crosses. One of them's here because it's very, very special. It's from my late friend, dear friend. It's from both of them, I think. 2 of my friends have passed away, 3 of my friends passed away, but these 2 were best friends. One of them passed away in an accident several years ago, and the other one, her funeral was last weekend or the weekend before. Anyway, at her wake I was given this, the Cross of St. Francis. And gifted it from the sister of my first friend that passed away. And I also received 4 other crosses from my late Auntie Betty as well that nobody wanted because they looked dirty and tatty, so I cleaned them up. They look amazing and lush now. Too many signs. When I pray, God answers. every time. That's the truth, you know, and it's like little miracles as far as I can see. But I do like to get all my facts. I do like to get all my information. I need to understand what's going on around me. I need to. And there are so many contradictions, you know. I always look at my other half and I call him, I say to him that he contradicts himself. I probably do too. But there's also a lot of contradictions in the Bible that I don't understand. But the main thing about it for me is, you know, stop worrying, have faith, because faith's better than anxiety, yeah? Believing that everything's going to be okay and everything's going to happen for a reason. And it normally is. Things happen for a reason and there's a lesson to be learned from it. And that's how we develop and grow. I was going somewhere else with that. Now I've completely lost the plot on that one. So I'll have to watch a video and come back to that. I guess that's where I was going with that. So these aren't Psalms. These are like, this book is the New Living Translation. It was recommended to me by my partner during my, to help me in my journey and understanding, which is what I was going to point out now. I mean, I'm exploring faith and I'm trying to make sense of it all. There are a lot of contradictions, but it doesn't take a moron to figure out that, if you follow the basic principles behind the text, behind what's written in front of you, if you follow the basic principles, of being a good person, don't be a dick, just be a good person, be kind to people, speak nicely to people, help people, make sacrifices, put others first, but also have responsibility for yourself, Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. If you can't work, then you don't spend. Yeah? All the stuff that I've been doing wrong, obviously, that's why I'm a drug addict. And that's how I've come to this position. So it doesn't take a moron to figure that out. But there's some real helpful stuff in here, like I do my research, I want to gain knowledge, and I want to gain wisdom. The wisdom to use that knowledge. I am quite a wise person. I've done a lot in my lifetime and I know a lot. So understanding, cry out for insight and ask for understanding. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek them like hidden treasures. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord and you will gain knowledge of God. So, real positive message there. The only part I don't like about it is it says fear the Lord. But if the Lord is about love, then why should we fear him? It's not him we should fear, is it? It's ourselves. Because, what goes around comes around. So if we make mistakes that we don't make amends to, that's going to come back. However, I don't like the idea of fearing the Lord because I don't like fearing anybody. The only thing I fear really is fucking this whole thing up. I don't just mean my relationship, I mean my life. My life, and then that of my children's. I'm trying to work towards being the best person I can be. I'm going to read out wisdom as well, because that was the first one that I read this morning, and I thought it was really pretty cool. So I think it was a proverb, actually. So here we go. Wisdom is more than knowledge. It is the ability to make the right decision in confusing circumstances. God will give us wisdom if we ask. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 1:7. That should be interesting. That's just answered that question, hasn't it? Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look. What did I say? Proverbs 1:7, 5:1-2. Right. Do you know, if you told me 6 months ago I was going to be reading from a Bible and looking for help in a Bible, I'd have laughed. I would have laughed. In fact, I still do. I find it quite amusing. I can't believe it. But it does help. I'll get there in a minute. I keep forgetting the page number. Okay, so fear the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. I'm going to read this, the purpose of Proverbs. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, David's son, king of Israel. The purpose is to teach people wisdom and discipline, self-discipline, I assume, and to help them understand the insights of the wise. The insights, that is a great gift. The gift of insight, the gift of hindsight. If you're lucky, then you get the gift of foresight. Hindsight, insight, foresight, eyesight. Really good. You know, hindsight, you learn from your past, yeah? Insight. It's what you see, it's what you absorb, it's what you recognize, it's what you become aware of. You put 2 and 2 together, and you can come up with foresight. Their purpose is to teach people to live disciplined and successful lives, to help them do what is right, just, and fair. These proverbs will give insight to the simple, knowledge and discernment to the young. Let the wise listen to these proverbs and become ever wiser. Let those with understanding receive guidance. By exploring the meaning in these proverbs and parables, so not what's written, but what it's saying. The words of the wise and their riddles. Oh, don't talk with me about riddles. Riddles are driving me nuts. My partner talks in riddles. And I worked it out why today. I worked out the reason why. It's probably not my place to share it with you. But let's just say that I know why he talks in riddles. So I don't know how many of these to read, to be fair. So let's go with acquiring wisdom. I'll just read it out. You can switch off if you get bored, I'll understand. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say goodbye for a minute, because I know not all of you want to hear this. Actually, no, I'm just going to leave it running. Switch off if you want. Nobody's telling you to read the Bible. I am not saying go read the Bible, go read the Bible. I'm just reading like the knowledge within it, because these are knowledge of wise people. Words of knowledge from wise people of the past. My child, listen when your father corrects you. Don't neglect your mother's instruction. What you learn from them will crown you with grace and be a chain of honour around your neck. My child, if sinners entice you, turn your back on them. See, be wise. Be wise. Find your strength, pray. They may say, come and join us, let's hide and kill someone just for fun. Let's ambush the innocent. Let's swallow them alive like the grave. Let's swallow the whole like those who go down to the pit of death. Think of great things we'll We'll fill our houses with all the stuff we take. Come throw in your lot with us. We'll all share the loot. That was an example given. Now let's go and mug someone, kill someone, and rob them to better our lives. Yeah. You see, even in the thick of my blooming relapse, I haven't killed, I haven't robbed, I haven't thieved. You know, I've just got by. Anyway. My child, don't go along with them. Stay far away from their paths. Take toxic people. Stay away from toxic people. They rush to commit evil deeds. They hurry to commit murder. If a bird sees a trap being set, it knows to stay away. But these people set an ambush for themselves. They are trying to get themselves killed. Such is the fate of all who are greedy for money. It robs them of life. Now, what that means is, it doesn't mean that God is necessarily going to come down and strike you with lightning and kill you, or make you die in some horrific accident if you go and steal off people for money. What it's saying is, it's going to rob you from your life because you'll end up in prison, or you might pick on the wrong people and you could lose your life. Or you just keep going around in this boring, horrible, fear-filled existence, doing that kind of behaviour that, well, what good's it going to do? It's just going to make you miserable. It's going to rob you of life. Just as taking drugs robs us, addicts, of life and our families. Wisdom shouts in the streets. Wisdom shouts in the streets. She cries out in a public square. She calls to the crowds along the main street, to those gathered in front of the city gate. How long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking? How long will you fools hate knowledge? Come and listen to my counsel, my advice, and I'll share my heart with you and make you wise. If they choose to listen. I called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. Now, this has happened to me in the past. So I come across as a very critical person, and I'm not critical. I don't mean to be. I don't mean to come across that way. I'm not a critical person, but I do say it as it is. Sometimes there's no filter from there to there, I see something, I say it. It is often negative because I'm pointing out somebody's defects in the hope that they might take hold of that and look at it and work on it and change it. Or if I feel that there's a better way of doing something, I'll advise. And it says, you're fools if you turn away the experienced advice. And so it says, so I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when disaster overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster engulfs you like a cyclone, and anguish and distress overwhelm you. Well, it's true. At first, you're going to think, well, fuck you. You didn't take my advice, serves you right. But then there's the crying for help. When they cry for help, I will not answer. Though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me. For they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. They rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them. Therefore, they must eat the bitter fruit of living their own way, choking on their own schemes. For simpletons turn away from me to death. Fools are destroyed by their own complacency, but all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear or harm. All she's saying is, is your behaviour. I can notice something about you lot and you're doing it all wrong, and in a minute, if you carry on the way you are, then you're going to die. It's not very nice, but it is, you know. If she's really got some wisdom to share, then she should be sharing it. Kind of why I'm here now, really. I don't even know if this is wisdom or insight I'm gaining at the moment. I do make myself laugh sometimes as well. And I haven't had that much meth today. Only a little bit. And a little bit of amphetamine, obviously. I've got a thumping headache there. And I'm not afraid to say that, because at the end of the day, it's freedom of speech. And I'm hoping that I'm helping people, even if it's just to distract you from your crazy psychosis or crazy whatever you were getting obsessed in. If you're a using addict, I mean, if you made it this far through the video and you're not an addict or an addict in recovery, then fair play to you. Kudos. Hopefully you can share this video with somebody who might need it. Or if it resonates with you, share it too. Let people know how you feel. Speak the truth. So, my child, listen to what I say and treasure my commands. Tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. Cry out for insight and concentrate and ask for understanding. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek them like hidden treasures. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, and you will gain knowledge of God. For the Lord grants wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. Common sense. How many people lack common sense? He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the path of the just and protects those who are faithful to him. Then you will understand what is right, just, and fair, and you will find the right way to go. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will fill you with joy. Wise choices will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. You see, they all go together, don't they? They all go together. Wisdom will enter your heart because you'll look inside and you'll apply what you know to the experiences you've had. And that creates wisdom. You know, here's a shield to those who walk with integrity. So if you're true to yourself, that's as integral as you can get. You know, being your true self, being authentic, whatever that means. That's why I'm here doing YouTube videos. From the heart, no special lighting or anything like that. I'm just speaking as it is. My parents hate it. They think I should keep things like this public, but I think I should be sharing, so I'm sharing. That's my integrity. And I know that I will be shielded and protected from that because I can feel it in here. And as long as I'm living with integrity, people can say what they want about me. I don't care. Wise choices will watch over you, and understanding will keep you safe. So, understanding the concepts, understanding the messages that's being said here. You know, learn. If you make an error, you learn from it, you look inside, you grow it, you figure it out, you become wise, you get through it. You repent, you say sorry, you make amends, and then you're kind and courageous, really. Wisdom will save you from evil people, from those words who are twisted. You know, ladies, if you're watching this, you know, I've got the wisdom now to gain a better insight into men and relationships. I lack the ability to make the right choices still, but that will come with understanding. Once I understand myself, then I'll start making better choices, I'm sure. So, I'm not going to waffle on so much about that anyway. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, the exploring of the faith. There's some pretty good shit written in that book, I've got to be fair. But it is common sense stuff as well. A lot of it's common sense, a lot of it makes sense. You just got to read between the messages, between the lines, try and understand them. Definitely. So that's where I'm going with that. I've given up work completely. And if you really want to know, you know, I used to, I worked, excuse me. And if you really want to know, I did my previous job. Well, I've had two. My previous job, I was living a double life. And I was working as a very good dominatrix. Don't worry, I did my accounts, I paid my taxes if they were due. But I was a very good dominatrix. Now I know a lot of you are going to reel as well. I don't know, because I'm doing your thinking for you, so scrap that. Some of you might reel back in anger and go, oh, you know, I don't think that. So, rewind. Yes, I did that job. And it was a very successful job and it empowered me. And the reason it empowered me was because I was in an abusive relationship, a horrifically abusive relationship. And I was sucked right into that. And I was being treated very, very badly. And then being a dominatrix, men would worship me at my feet for money. You know, they would send me gifts. If I wanted something, I got it. I never had to take my clothes off. Never did, you know, it's not, well, I don't know, porn, whatever, I don't know what you call it. But it was in the sex industry, yes, and I've always been honest about that to the authorities when needed. In fact, it was having that job and having that position and that experience and that wisdom and that knowledge was one of the reasons that the police were trying to get me to press charges and take matters further for a certain incident, because they said that I knew right from wrong. So if I'm saying no to something, that means I know it's wrong. So just bear that in mind. There came a time when I had to be honest to my parents about it as well. They didn't get mad. In fact, they thought it was funny. And so my friends thought it was funny as well. And you know, telling people that back then, just telling those one or two people back then was great. You know, because it took the power out of it. it couldn't be used as a weapon against me. And even my son knows now. And perhaps my daughter will find out. I hope not. And if you do, darling, just remember that I love you. And everything I did was to better myself. And we lived a good life from that job. We did for a while. Unfortunately, the job became exhausting. It really did. Having to act every day because it wasn't the kind of person that I was, and having to keep that secret every day because it wasn't the kind of person, it was just the worry of always getting found out. But now I'm telling you this on YouTube where anybody could find out and anybody could read it. And do you know why? Because I'm being honest. Showing my integrity. I am a human being. I do make mistakes. I'm not well mentally. I've got issues to deal with. I am an addict. I don't know how many female crystal meth addicts there are in the UK. And I don't know how many crystal meth addicts there are. And I say addict in the term of using it every day. I don't know how many addicts there are, that are this open and honest about it. But I tell you, we need a few more. We need a few more. So by telling you that and telling you about my job, a little bit of my history, I'm just being honest. And I'm also taking the power out of it. So no one, not anyone, can use it against me as a threat. If you don't do this for me, then I'm going to go and tell so-and-so about you. Unfortunately, that does happen in life. And if there's any meth addicts watching this, especially women, you're going to know that. And if there's any decent human being watching this, you're going to know that too. So, anyway, there's my little, very long ramble. I've got to share these awakenings, and I'm going to try and start blogging more often, actually, before I go into treatment. And hopefully they'll find a way of helping me blog my journey whilst I'm in there. So do you know what? You lot are amazing. Thank you for subscribing to me. Thank you to liking me. Feel free to share my videos, and don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of what struggles you are going through. If you are an addict, you are an addict. Just you've got to get help. You can't beat it on your own. No matter how hard you try, and the more you try and beat it on your own, the harder it gets and the more you use. Sorry, I'll take that back. For me, it's for me. Okay, what I just said, that's for me. All right? The more I try and do it on my own, the more I fail, the more I use. And this is why I need treatment. But I've worked hard, really, really hard to get into it. To get awarded the funding. It's like winning the lottery. When my key worker phoned me up and told me, that I'd been awarded a bed in a very, very good treatment centre. Oh, it was like winning the lottery. It's going to be the most valuable gift that I've ever received. The most valuable. And I'm not going to waste it. Not now I've come this far, because I haven't come this far to only get this far. So please take inspiration from me, yeah? If you reduce what you're using, keep a diary. Keep a diary of what you use, and then try and reduce it just a tiny bit. Even if you go down from 200 milligrams of speed to 195 milligrams of speed, yeah? If you're a daily user that is trying to function. Doesn't matter any amount, just try and bring it down a tiny bit, because every tiny bit is an achievement. And that's the next thing you need to do as well, which I do, is you have to-do lists and we put too much on them, especially as stimulant addicts, you know, because we've got to go, we've got so much to do all the time. If we're anxious, it's even worse, right? But it's good at the end of the day, instead of sitting back and thinking, oh shit, I haven't done that, or oh shit, I haven't done that. How about writing down the little things that you have done? I got out of bed this morning. I showered this morning. I put on some mascara this morning. I've been productive and began research this morning. I'm reaching out to others this morning. I reached out to others this morning. Positive little achievements. Because then you're training your brain to focus on the positives. And the more positive we feel, the stronger we get. Yeah? Anyway, like I said, you lot have a really good day. Trust your gut, but be wise and research. Research. That's what I'm doing with the Bible as well, and exploring faith. So I'm listening to the messages, and they say, gain knowledge, gain wisdom, and you will prosper. That's why I'm doing that. But I'm also sharing it with you guys. Hopefully it'll help. And if you're not a meth addict, please, for God's sake, for goodness sakes, whatever you do, don't do it. Just don't. If you have an addictive personality and you are addicted to substances of any kind, just do not try crystal meth. Just don't. Because it is eating away at me. I seem fine now. I'm presenting fine. I might be a bit slurred because of the prescription medication I'm on. But don't do it. Because it's in the UK, there's no help. There's no fucking help. Nobody knows what to do. Not really. There's no medicinal alternative or antibody, because they do antibody medications, don't they? Like naloxone, where it just blocks it. There's nothing like that. Nothing at all. So just stay away from it. Don't have more to yourself, because you take meth, you open the door to all sorts of trouble and psychosis. And I was reading last night from I believe it's the National Institute of Health. It was one of their medical reports. And to read how severe and long-lasting the damages are from using methamphetamine. Wow, that is scary stuff. That is scary stuff. Even after 4 months of using it, there's a big difference. Well, I've been using it nearly a year now. And it does say that it can take, several years for those cravings and those flashbacks to disappear. Also, it really stays in your blood for time as well. It doesn't break down easy in the blood. It's 50% reduced after 10 hours, whereas amphetamine is like, I think it was 75% reduced or was it 50% reduced in 3 hours? So basically, each day I'm using amphetamines, and it's mashing my head up. So I hope I come back from this. I do hope I come back from this. I will come back from this. It's just going to be tough. But I want it. because I owe it. I owe it to every single person who's given me love and who's cared about me, and that includes you guys as well. All your comments and the ones that subscribe and the ones that like, Thank you. I hope I can help someone, even if just one of you. I'll be happy. And sharing my story like this will be worth it. So, have a good day. Subscribe, like, you know what to do. Start the conversation rolling. Let me know I'm not alone. If you're a high-functioning addict, please come and talk. And if you're not, come and talk anyway. Tell me how bad it can get. Because things are slipping away. You guys are amazing. My family, my friends, my partner, even though he's in denial right now. Thank you. And I'll see you soon. Peace.